All right, we have
That's what we do
Islam
here.
Makhachev versus Charles do Bronx Oliveira. This was what everybody was saying was like the poor man's Khabib versus Tony Ferguson. That never went down. It should have gone down.
But it went like
But everybody was
this.
like, Islam might not be as good of a version as Khabib, but Charles Oliveira is a better version than Ferguson. This is what a lot of people were saying.
Myself
And
included.
and
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say caused a lot of people that I know to pick Charles do Bronx Oliveira over Islam Makhachev.
Yeah, I did, but I would just like to say right now, the champ has a name. His name is Islam Makhachev.
Yes, that is fact. That is fact. Man, Islam, I think, surprised a lot of people coming out with his striking. And people have said this for the longest time. They said, hey, Islam can strike. He's a
Yeah.
better striker than Khabib. Nobody's coming out saying, hey, Islam is, Israel Adesanya type striker.
Yeah,
Nobody's
yeah.
saying that. But people have been saying he's a better striker than Khabib ever was.
Mhm.
And he came out and, he showed some hands in the very beginning.
Dude,
Caught
what
Charles Oliveira with some solid shots, bro.
was it like the first exchange? He landed the left straight right hook combo. And
Oh,
I
it
was
was
like,
beautiful.
oh, okay.
Yeah, we got ourselves a fight.
Yeah, and then the Bronx pulled guard, and I was like, okay, yeah, take the takedown away, just give it to him. But also, it was it wasn't near the fence, so he could work submissions better. They're fresh, so they're not sweaty yet. I felt like that was a good move by Oliveira. If he's going to try to submit Makhachev, then yeah, why not pull guard in the center of the cage and then try to throw your legs up? And he did throw him up a couple times. He set up a triangle. Set up an armbar. He sets up that armbar all the time where he'll try to hook the back leg and turn his hips with it.
Yep.
But he almost uses it as like a sweep or something. But Makhachev just stayed composed in his defense.
He said, I'm from Dagestan, bro. What are you doing?
Yeah,
I
he's like,
wrestle
"You're not
bears
Paul
in my
Craig."
spare time.
Remember when Uncle
You're not the
Ive?
bear Jew?
Yeah, Uncle Ive sat in Paul Craig's guard for all 3 rounds and then got subbed with like 10 seconds left.
Yeah,
but
dude.
that didn't happen in this one.
Look, Charles Oliveira has the record for the most submission wins in the UFC, right? So he's dangerous. Not just that, he's so active off his back, man.
Mhm.
Elbows, little jabs, little punches. Like you said, he's constantly trying to throw submissions up. There's a couple times where I was like, maybe a triangle, like very close.
He did set it up,
right?
He set it up.
But
Makhachev did a good job posturing.
I said on the predictions episode, I said, look, Islam's been wrestling bears since he was 2 years old. And on top of that, even worse, he's been wrestling Khabib Nurmagomedov for 20 years, bro. For 20 years. Since they were little children in Dagestan. Okay, so I don't think Charles is going to throw anything up his way that he hasn't seen before.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Dude, and just looking at this, right? Because you always hear about Sambo. You always hear about the mixed martial art of Sambo. And you see a pretty big difference with your Sambo fighters versus just your regular Jiu-Jitsu practitioners and the wrestlers and the takedowns, right? Very similar to judo. A lot of similarities to your old school like Greco-Roman wrestling with a lot of submission knowledge on it as well. And I just see it in Khabib. I see it in Islam. And I'm like, man, what a solid base to start with.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Also, shout out, ONE FC had their prime event and had their inaugural grappling championship for lightweight. Cade Rotolo took on a Sambo guy and wiped the floor with him. And I was like, man, if Oliveira could beat Islam, I'm going to change this title of this episode to if Sambo or if Jiu-Jitsu was easy, they'd call it Sambo, but then not quite.
That was easy if you called Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
But that's classic.
Yeah, shout out also Regen's on. I was worried that he would miss it, that we came on 2 hours earlier, but shout out Regen. Charles called for a first round KO and came out and fought reckless. Gave Islam stand-up no respect and paid for it. I think he got caught surprised. I mean, I think it was the first, I have to rewatch it, but I think it was the first combo that Islam really threw, where that left straight right hook combo that caught him clean, and Charles was like, oh, okay, I gotta be a little bit more respectful here, because he did just kind of run at him. Well, he did run at him, right? The start of the fight, he literally ran at him.
Yeah, threw a little high kick, and Islam was like, get that shit.
That's what got him knocked out. Or not knocked out, but knocked down. Floating knee.
The second attempt, Islam comes in with the left, and as he's coming down with the floating knee, then he meets him with the right hook right on the chin, drops him. And usually Charles Oliveira gets dropped, and you're like, okay, it's a Charles Oliveira fight. Yeah. Nothing new here, right?
Yeah.
He gets dropped, he wins, whatever. Mm-hmm. But the top pressure and the slickness from Islam Makhachev, as soon as he hopped up, and got into what was it, side control? Did it get into mount right away? I can't remember.
Well, he passed him. He passed his guard while he was still hurt, while he was still stunned on the ground, and he collected the arm early,
immediately,
to the point where I don't think DeBronx really knew that the arm triangle was being set up right away. I think he was just like, oh yeah, it's in the scuffle of things, and then he just hopped over and was like, oh, well, this is probably over.
Well, and then the thing is too, right? And who knows how out of it Oliveira was. But when he's sinking in the arm triangle, I thought like, okay, he's okay. He's not bad. And then he tries to roll to his left. And as he rolls to his left, Islam's arm slides a little bit lower, right onto his neck. And then he turns back on his back. And the squeeze was just so tight at that point, and he just tapped right away. But amazing performance by Makhachev, man.
Yeah, and HLB Comer says, I felt like Charles was frozen on the feet and didn't really get to impose his game as in his previous fights, and his usual safe space, the ground was full of lava. Yeah, once he got cracked, it seemed like he did some good clinch work, which is what I was most interested to see, because Islam did hit the trip in the first round. And I was like, man, because Islam does, and the way he got into the clinch was that casting punch like Fedor. He threw it in a combo, casting punch over the top, head and arm, hits the trip. And I was like, damn, there it is. But then every other clinch exchange, I thought Charles actually had the better of the exchanges.
Well, he had some solid knees to the body too, man. Mm-hmm. Solid knees to the body, and Charles Oliveira is very lanky.
Yeah, but then anytime they separated, it seemed like he was more focused about not getting clinched up again, more than let me land my strikes. Which, I mean, obviously, that's the point of having such a good wrestling base, is that strikers will be afraid to strike with you. And yeah, that's what played out. It seemed like Regen said zero head movement, walking forward with no setups, throwing flying knees with no setups. Congrats to Islam. Yeah, that floating knee, Islam. It looked like Islam was just ready for it, because it is something that Charles does a lot, and then it is something that a lot of guys are able to time. If you throw naked floating knees, you have to be ready for that overhand that's going to come around.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you're adding momentum to their punch basically every time you do that.
Then you see the picture here, right, where they invited Volkanovski into the octagon. They're talking about, hey, honestly. Yeah, it's a little cheesy. It's a little WWE kind of for me, But either way, they're talking about setting up the fight between Islam and Volkanovski. What are your thoughts on this, Will? Not on them meeting up in the octagon, but the fight itself.
Shouldn't happen.
No?
And we'll talk about, well, speaking of, HLB Comer says also Khabib's team came out 5 weeks before the fights. Most of their opponents got fucked by the desert location and the jet lag. This will come up again in the Bilal fight. Another thing that will come up in a later fight is the Dariush snub, the absolute snub of Beneil Dariush. I don't want to see Volkanovski versus Islam. It does nothing for me. Dariush is the number one contender, in my opinion.
I like it. And again, Dariush was scheduled to fight Charles Oliveira. And then I believe he rolled his ankle against the cage.
Oh, that was supposed to be against Islam.
Okay, and then he was scheduled against Charles Oliveira.
I thought Charles Oliveira pulled out. I don't remember him being scheduled against Oliveira.
Dude, I want to say he was booked against both of them, and for some reason,
he was. So he was scheduled against Oliveira in 2020, a long time ago. Oliveira fell through. Then he fought Diego Ferreira, Tony Ferguson. Then he was supposed to fight Islam because he was now top 5, and they were like, "Oh, Islam's gonna smash Dariush, and that will get him his title shot." That's when he broke his ankle, and they were like, "Islam title shot, anyways." No, they gave him that. But let's be real, dude. That they also told him he was the backup, and then they're like, "Actually, Volkanovski's the backup," and he was like, "What the fuck? I thought I was the backup." And then he beats the guy that everybody's like, he's the future of the division. We'll talk about it later, but Dariush should have been. He should be next. Math Prodigy says it's gimmicky, but I get it. They're trying to sell super fights. They've been known to do this, and it always feels forced. Yeah, has it ever felt good?
Onto the podcast, Math Prodigy. Thanks for joining us again.
Has it ever felt good?
No,
Remember when
I
Brock
don't think
came in
it.
with DC and Stipe?
Oh no, don't, dude. I don't want to think about that right now. It's too early for that.
His suit and his cowboy boots.
It's
What
too
are we
early for
doing?
that. It's too early for that. No, but yeah, he's right, man. They're trying to sell fights. There's some people out there. They're gonna be like, "Oh, there it is. Look at them talking shit and getting ready for the next fight." It's a way for them to try to hype it up. But it is what it is. Like HLB Comer is saying the double champ status for Volk. He's deserved the right to try to go for it. And I agree, man. Volkanovski's he's cleaning up that division, man. He's doing work, and who are we, Will, to stop him?
So here's the thing. Volk definitely deserves out of all the champs, he's one of the most deserving of getting the opportunity to become a double champ. But I don't like when they do these fights when there's clear number one contenders. You know what I mean?
So would you do like a Volk versus Dariush?
No. A champ should, in my opinion, a champ like Volk should only go up to fight the champ. But the champ shouldn't get to skip the line. A champ in another division shouldn't be able to skip the line when there's a guy on an 8-fight win streak who is already scheduled to fight the 2 guys who just fought in this main event.
What kind of win streak is Volk on, though?
Yeah, but he in a different division.
Yeah.
When Dariush was already the number one contender once, and then he was supposed to fight the title eliminator, that didn't happen, and then he just gets a win on the same night. It's Dariush. And the fact that he was brought there as they told him, you're going to be, in case something happens with the main event, you're the next guy. We're calling you. He's the number one contender. He fought a guy that nobody wants to fight.
Yeah. I'm usually with you when it comes to not slowing down the division. In this case with Volkanovski, I say, just do it. Give it to Volk. I know Dariush, dude, and I like Dariush, especially recently. Again, like I said, he's been on a resurgence lately. Dariush has been catapulted, into the top 5. He's been fighting killers. The way he's been finishing his fights lately. But man, Volkanovski's just on another level.
In another division.
Yeah. But who's to say that he won't be on another level in this division as well? There's only one way to find out, and that's by putting him in there right away against Makhachev.
Against the worst.
He loses against Makhachev, and then he goes back down to 145.
I mean, and that's the other thing too. Stylistically, it's just not the most interesting fight to me.
But also, you know what?
The names, for sure.
Let him get paid.
Yeah, I'll be crossing
so much more money. He's gonna make mucho more money.
Look, am I gonna watch it? Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, we're all gonna watch it, dude.
But I don't know. For lightweight specifically, it has been so fucked for so long with all these holdups of guys not taking fights below them and all this stuff. And there's finally a true number one contender, and we're like, we're gonna put you aside. You're gonna have to fight somebody else. And I agree with HLB Comer. Volk has cleaned out his division. There's not a lot of fights for him there, but that doesn't mean that there's no fights for the lightweights. And I don't know. It's always kind of weird when there's a super fight between 2 champs when one of them literally just got the belt. It's like that's kind of weird also for me. It's not that's not the biggest deal, but it is kind of weird. It's like this guy just got the belt.
What if, let's say Volkanovski announced, "Hey, I'm relinquishing my belt at 145. I'm focusing on 155. That's it. No mas. Just 155." Would you then say, okay, well then now you have to fight Dariush, or would you say no, you're getting a title?
No, if he dropped the belt, it's champ or nothing. I mean, when a champ like
then what's the difference?
When a champ like Volk goes to another division, it has to be for the belt. It's stupid to have them fight a number one contender, but that shit sucks for Dariush, who just keeps getting pushed to the side.
Nobody's saying it doesn't suck for Dariush. Yeah, but he'll get there eventually, maybe.
You never know, man. This is what happens, man. Look at JoJo. She was supposed to fight for the belt. Valentina pulls out. She fights in a short notice fight instead. Loses.
Time out.
Never gets a title shot.
Are you comparing Dariush to JoJo right now?
If he never gets a title shot, yeah. Dude, that's what happens. These guys who deserve title. Look at Jacare Souza. This happens all the time. Tony Ferguson. All the time, these guys deserve their title shot and then end up never getting it because of the money fights. And it sucks.
That's different though, because JoJo should not even be considered for a title shot. The only reason that she was close to a title shot is because she's in that 125 crappy division. Andrew Toasty, hey, shout out Andrew Toasty joining us. Cerrone. Hey, Cerrone got his title shots up.
Eventually, yeah.
He got his title shots.
Yeah.
Right? Did he get 2 title shots, I think? I know he lost to Anthony Pettis.
I don't remember. It's too early.
I
I think Will would be fine with all this just after Beneil gets a shot. Exactly. Let Beneil fight Islam. Look, does he even win that fight? Probably not. I don't even think he wins that fight. But the dude is on an 8-fight win streak in the toughest division of the sport, and they're like, we need 9. We need 9. It's fucking crazy.
Oh, man. I don't know. That's a tough one for me. But either way, I'm excited to see what happens in the division. Islam Makhachev, I think we both picked him in the beginning of the year prediction show. No?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, in the beginning of the year prediction show, I'm pretty sure we both picked him, maybe.
Shout out Andrew Toasty. He's got a fight this upcoming weekend. And I found out last night, the guy he's fighting, I grew up playing Little League with him. I finally actually looked at the poster, and I was like, whoa, that dude looks familiar. And then I looked him up on Instagram, and I was like, what the fuck? I played baseball.
Hey, so you have some insider info. Can you share it with Toasty before he goes in?
Haven't seen the guy in like 10 years.
You're like, hey, Toasty, careful, man. This guy has a crazy slider.
Hey. He's got a great swing.
He's got a great swing. Be careful, Toasty.
Yeah.
HOB Comer asked a great question. Who's next for Oliveira, though? And, the cool thing about Oliveira, how gracious is he in defeat, man? They're raising Islam's hand. He's holding his hand over, pointing at Islam like, hey, dude, great job, right?
There's a lot of respect between the two of them.
There's a lot of respect. And then he didn't say, I demand another title shot. He said, hey, get me back in there as soon as possible to get me back in a position to fight for the title, which you don't see too often from somebody that just lost the title. Let's be real. He didn't come in holding the title, but he was the champion, right?
He was the champ. The champ had a name.
And it used to be Charles Oliveira.
Oliveira.
Yeah. But I think, okay, hold on. HOB Comer might have just solved it.
Yeah.
Beneil versus Charles Oliveira.
Yeah, Regents did the same thing. Yeah. That's the fight to make. If Volk does skip the line, then that's what you do.
All right, so we're gonna kick what's the name out, Sean Shelby, and we're gonna put HOB Comer and Regen in, and we'll be done.
Yeah.
Matchmakers for life.
Matchmakers for life.
All right. Do we want to move on to the next one?
Let's see. Is there anything else for that one? Hamzat and Abu Bakr got in a fight during this one.
Oh yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah. Other than that,
dude, I think I put it on Instagram. I was like, dude, I feel like every week I hear about a new scuffle that Hamzat Chimaev was involved in.
Yeah, pretty much.
That guy just likes to fight.
Let him fight, dude.
Yeah, let him bang.
Just let him bang, bro.
Somebody's got just let him bang.
Toasty says, Regen says, I'm not heartless enough to be a UFC matchmaker. Toasty says, I say sit Dariush, let the man take a break till he gets his shot. He's not Gaethje or something like that, or fans are clamoring to see. Here's the thing about Dariush. Because fans are not clamoring to see him, if he sits and waits, he will 100% be skipped. They will not let him wait for a shot.
Yeah, and I don't think he has the name power to where he's like, hey, if you guys don't give me a title shot, I'm sitting out. I'm going to wait till I get a title shot. There's some fighters that could do that. There's some fighters that could do that.
Here's what's going to happen. Volk is going to fight Islam. Flip it. Volk's going to fight Islam, and he's going to lose. And Islam's going to keep the belt. And Poirier and Michael Chandler are going to fight, and the winner of that is going to get a title shot over Oliveira or over Dariush. You could guarantee it.
Hey everybody, Romero and Will here. Thank you so much for watching that short clip. It's just a small clip of what we covered this last Sunday.
Yeah, if you want to check out the full fight card recap, the link is in the description, and it's going to be on screen at the end here. Don't forget to go back and watch our fighter interviews that we have. And don't forget to tune in live every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, and you can join in on the fun.
Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It goes a long way. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching that short clip from Story of the Fight.